There he
Mute.
is.
Start video. Allow. Here we go.
Look at this. You survived it.
I'm waiting on AAA.
Oh, wow. Shoot.
I go and look at an exterior, and I'm going down the road. My tire light comes on. I went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
It went to 0 pretty quick. I went on, no.
Oh, shoot. It always happens the most convenient times, right?
It always, without fail.
You just know, like, oh, perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good.
So,
Well, I'm glad I've got about 10, 15 minutes blocked
sweet.
out, but I mean, I know we wanted to dig in on a couple of things, Marty. So I think just for everybody's reference who gets to perhaps watches this on replay, I think part of what we're looking to accomplish from, I think the note you sent is that, I mean, you're starting to see some growth, and you're looking critically at just your company structure and how do we start getting you on a path to where you're being able to step more and more way out of the day-to-day operations. Is that right?
Correct. I want to
Okay.
get myself out of the way.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so things can kind of grow without you and do what we call having your business pass the fishing test. So you can step away for a bit and you still make money, which should be good, right? Okay. So give me a little, I guess, context, because I think that's a good frame, and we'll definitely jump into some things to help you with that. So, if you were to think of the top key areas that you're working inside the business right now more than you'd like or should? I mean, we usually think of 5 core functions, and I'll actually just for a little bit of a help with that. One of the things that we do is we've got a couple tools we use inside our programs. One of them is just we look at this is our 5 different ways to get leads. That's the one that we go deep on. But one of the other areas we'll do as part of our weekly calls, we'll look into just what are the 5 core business functions? Where does one need help? And whether it's marketing, sales, finance, people, systems. Out of those 5, which one feels like the biggest need for you to step away out of first? Because we probably can't do all of them all at once. So which one feels like the biggest help?
I think it's the estimating and the project management.
Okay.
I think I need to step further away from that and kind of outsource or delegate, hire.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. So let's do let me just get some notes here. Let's do that. So let's see this. Okay. So like you said, estimating. Oops, there we go. And then you said project management.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll do this.
I feel like I'm still having to do a lot more than I should.
Yeah.
And it just takes me away from other things that I could be, the networking, the BNI,
Right.
where I'm looking at meeting with different commercial people, assisted living, nursing homes, hospitals, schools,
Right.
trying to get in front of these people, the decision makers, so I can start looking at November, December, January, February.
Right.
Getting some kind of, and I can't do all that when I'm still running around, looking at jobs, doing estimates, doing, bringing stain to jobs, bringing paint here. And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the efficiency. Now I'm like, how did I even bother trying, painting last time? Like,
right.
I got to find that balance, I guess.
For sure. Yeah. And then there's certainly things that you as the owner, you can uniquely do for the business that other people can't. And this is a little bit of it's a good way to lens to look through the things that don't meet that hurdle. I mean, things that definitely can be trained outsourced or kind of offshore off your plate. And that's what we want to get into. So let's break one of these at a time. On the estimating side, well, actually, even as a quick frame, how many hours per week are you spending right now on the estimating side?
I'm averaging about 12 to 14 appointments a week.
Okay.
And then that's just on site. And then the paperwork takes probably an hour each.
Okay. Okay. So then if we were to put,
it's probably a full-time job.
That's what I want to understand is what your current volume is. So if we think that if that's the appointment number, then number of hours per appointment, including paperwork, including travel, including the preparation, all those things, does that match up to more than 30 hours a week, do you think?
Oh yeah. Probably right around between 30 and 32.
Okay. 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 So if we get somebody, actually, I think this is helpful. So if we break this into the 2 camps, we know that's the most important chunk for this person, 30 to 32 hours. someone who's doing estimating, again, taking care of those 12 to 14 appointments a week, what are some other things that someone with that skill set or someone that's in that role could take on that would fill up the balance of their 8 to 10, ish hours a week? Anything else that feels, because project management probably by itself is going to be more than that, is what I'm guessing, given how many jobs you've got going, right?
It could be, because the size right now of the crew,
Mhm.
I have 2 to 3 jobs going on. So that could actually balance out the project management, because that's
Okay.
only about an hour a day to make sure everything's on schedule.
That's my question. So yeah, how many hours is, so if we go to, if we
That's
think of
about
things,
8 to 10, right around 8 to 10.
okay, perfect. Okay. So if that's 8 to 10, then yeah, we only need one role instead of two right now. Is
Right.
what I'm hearing. Let's I think the estimating side around the 12 to 14 appointments, that's pretty clear. Let's just get a couple of bullet points on what fits under the project management umbrella, just so we're kind of clear on, and I'll explain why in just a second, but let's so clear about the scope of that part of the job. So what would you list out as things that fit under that?
Materials to make
Okay.
sure the job's set up.
Okay. Materials, job
Make,
prep.
like work order, make sure the work order is sent.
Okay. It's good. Work order is sent. Okay.
And then just checking progress, making sure everything stays on schedule.
Yeah.
Any issues,
Okay.
put the fires out.
Yeah, because there's always something, right?
Yeah.
Issues, fires. Okay. Anything else under project management?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Good. So let's, in a similar way, let's do a little bit more. Let's get a little more clear on the appointments as far as what the dual. I mean, what we're ultimately running towards, Marty, is creating a job description. And we've got a good feel for what's going to fit on the project management side, but let's get really clear on, and then think about this in terms of the things that intuitively you're doing, you've been doing it all yourself, but the specific time consuming tasks that fit under estimating, let's see a couple of bullet points to get that clear.
So the estimating is on site, looking at the painting,
Okay.
and it's figuring out prep, the production.
Okay. Prep and production. Okay.
And you're selling the paint, you're selling the company, so
Right.
too, while you're doing it. So it's
Yeah,
got to
so
have some kind of sales.
Sales experience is going to be needed. Yep. Okay.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay. What else is your ideal estimator going to need to have? What are they going to need to be able to do?
Communicate effectively.
Okay. Communication. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. Communication. Okay. Like
They
that.
just, I mean, they just got to be on top of things.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So then similarly, yeah, just so
The efficiency.
track. Yeah. Tasks. Yeah. Efficient management of time. Right.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Anything else that you characteristics or attributes or roles or tasks, things that this person, since we know we've got the good, we got 3, 6, 10 different bullet points we want to put into this job description. When you think about your ideal estimator or project manager.
Yeah, because I actually just hired one for Boston.
Okay. Good.
So like that's 100%. I trust him. He's like a brother. He's great.
Good.
He has 40 years painting experience.
Okay.
He's on that now. He wants to do the administrative kind of stuff. He doesn't.
Okay.
He's
Oh.
got a new shoulder, a new hip, like so.
Okay. Nice. So is this something where are you looking for a role to replace him or to?
No,
Okay.
I
This
want somebody
is
for
you.
out here for
Okay,
where
good.
I'm at.
Yeah, New Hampshire, right? Okay, good. Okay, so that's good. So I think we've got a good feel for our musts. And so what we'll want to do next, just to get you something real like tactical and tangible, right, out of this, what we'll do, let's just jump into the good old Google, and we're gonna go painting estimator job description. Let's see what we get. Typically, yeah, that's what we expect. We get Indeed. That is coming up. That's good. Let's see. Here we go. Paying estimator jobs, employment. Let's go with that's commercial. So we want to go residential, right?
Either somebody that has experience in both would be good, because I'm opening up a lot of commercial job stuff opportunities now.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, good. Let's get, there we go. Let's go to this one. Oh, what's it want? It's okay. Give it a second. They're confirming I'm not actual person. Okay, so we got lead commercial painting estimator, commercial painting. These are a couple of different job descriptions that we have coming up. Let's see. These are job postings. That's usually what we'll do is we'll just try and say, look, hey, let's find somebody that, okay, let's go into this one, and we can borrow their description.
Yeah.
Right. And then just tweak it.
Cut and paste. Yeah. Tweak
exactly.
it to my, tweak it to me. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So let's just grab theirs. And I will send you this. But we will make this into a document that I'll send over to you. So, and I think what we'll fold into that description is the bullet points that we covered and the basis they've got. Now, one of the things that I find that's really important that a lot of folks miss when it comes to getting your job description created to help it really attract the right talent is it's the one or two sentences or just the quick paragraph at the top of the description. Because sometimes I think we intuitively gravitate towards, well, here's what I want them to do, and here's what they need to be able, here's their qualifications, their experience, all those other things. But what we miss is just that opening table setter that's like, hey, here's who we are, here's what we're about, here's our culture, here's really why we're different and why working for us is going to be different than any other painters you're looking at or any other estimated jobs you're looking at. And so I would really encourage you to lean into that as the start, because that's going to help serve as a filter for the kind of people that vibe with who you are, what you're about, your mission. So that would be the one thing that I can't write for you right here, but just as I send you this, the template, make sure that would be one piece that I want to see you have included as part of that goes. So well, I'll shoot it over to you in just a second. I'll just make a quick Word doc with the bullet points we nailed and with that other job description template we found. And then that should get you, 90+% of the way there to being able to get the right person in place, man.
Sounds good.
Okay. Excited for you. This would be a good one. I think, and I, by the way, identified that's the current need, but it is a similar process where you're starting to get ready to move into the next area of things that you're currently doing that you want to step out of, right? So it's just going through that focused exercise of, reflecting back on your calendar, reflecting back on your day, like what stuff am I dealing with every day that we want to get out of, and then let's find a way to trade it out.
Yeah.
Right. And beyond that, I mean, I think the other piece I'll leave you with, as I know I know you got the truck, the AAA coming to take care of your tires, right? Would be that, Marty, it's going to be, okay, now that I've got that, how do we get those processes documented? You want to have something that when this person shows up, they've got what effectively behaves as their playbook for how do they do it. You've been at this long enough. So many of these things these nuances about how you do it right are going to be likely right here, but we want to get them just, even if it's bullet point documented, it doesn't have to be a full inch of paper, right?
I've been working on SOPs, and then having, instead of, I have an SOP on electronic, and then I print SOP checklists for each.
There we go.
There's an interior checklist, an exterior, cabinets, decks. So I could just add a checklist for a product manager and add a checklist for an estimator. ChatGPT does wonders, and then I cater it to me.
Perfect. Yeah, you're in great shape. And one of the other things I think you'll find, and given your situation, you've got your guy that does that's doing some of this in Boston, right? It'd be interesting if you haven't already done this to involve him in that process a little bit, just to get his perspective on what it takes to be really great at this. It'll give you, if you haven't already involved him in that process, it'll be good for him to see, okay, well, here's how I would do it. That you might uncover some things that he's doing that maybe you don't, or you may not be aware of. So I sort of lean on your existing team too, to help you get your ideal steps for
in the right, so everything fits right.
And it's consistent because you're going to want the same best in class model where in all your markets. And so I think if you've got somebody that's already doing some of the roles, that also, again, like I said, it's a good way. It's almost a peek behind the curtain on how he's thinking about things, how he's doing things, and help you feel for where his career path may take him based on how he's doing it, especially since he's expressed that he's interested in shifting some things, like you said, more the admin, right? So it's like, it'll help open up that conversation to be able to put him on a path to that if he's really serious about it. So it could be another way to lean on it. Cool. Well, Martin, I'm glad we were able to get this done, man. I'll shoot this over to you, and I'll wrap this up for our quick hot seat, my man.